Yes, this is the yearbook for the class of '64, and I was not a camera-shy teacher. But that's what they usually called it when your picture wasn't in there. But I took the end of, the beginning of '64 to go to Europe, that school year, '63, '64. We left on June, as soon as school was out in 1963, and came back in May of '64.
So I have to ask you, where were you when you heard about President Kennedy? Because that's something that, as a freshman, I experienced, and as seniors, the class of '64 experienced. Tell us, as an adult, as a teacher, what you felt.
Oh well, I was living in a home. We were going to the Goethe Institute in southern Germany, and that morning I was got up and I was supposed to have a bath that day. Once a week, you got to have a bath, and so it came over the news. I had a portable radio, and it said that he had been shot and killed, and I was just devastated. And anyway, so I quickly got dressed to go and meet my two other friends that I'd been traveling with, and they hadn't heard anything. And I know my housefrau, she came in and she started screaming, "President Kennedy sind tot, President Kennedy sind tot." And I said, yes, in my limited amount of German that I had known at that time. And so I said, "I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna leave." And so she said, your bath.
Yeah, the bath.
And I said, forget about the bath.
Yeah.
But then and it was amazing because all the Americans, there were 17 at this institute, and all 17 were at the Gasthaus. That was the beer hall where we had our dinners. But it was amazing because wherever we went, they gave us free tickets to travel on trolleys and stuff like that, and for 3 days the institute was shut down completely.
He was very close to Germany.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
And he said when he was in Germany, ich bin ein
Berliner. Yeah.
And you know what that was?
Let us know.
That basically in what an American would say, I am one of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a Berliner in Germany is a jelly donut. And so
I'm hungry.
So everybody was making fun of that comment, once we learned. But he was still alive when we were making those comments. But anyway, so we traveled. I was so fortunate. I started off with 2 other friends, and then we went to Zermatt at Christmas time to ski, and ran into some others. So there were 4 girls and 4 guys traveling.
So Carolyn, how old were you then?
About 25, 26.
Just a whole life ahead of you. Just a kid.
Yeah. And we traveled as far east as Israel, and then they wouldn't allow Arabs would not allow a double entry into their country if you once entered Israel, so we had to go out by boat. So we put our cars on the boat, and we were traveling in 2 Volkswagens, and had absolutely one of the greatest experiences. When I came back, I thought to myself, if every one of these kids could do that. And Deanne DeRoyne, do you remember her?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She
should have been in this year. No, maybe not. Maybe she was the year before. We had dinner with her at her. She was living with his family, and anyway, this way.
Yeah, she sadly passed away.
Yeah.
What do you think when you thumb through some of these pictures of the graduates?
And I remember how much they've grown. and what they've accomplished. I think Deanne went on to be a doctor.
Wow.
I think she's living, I think she went back to Colorado or one of the Dakotas and lived on an Indian reservation.
That's sounding familiar.
Yeah. Here she is.
Here, hold that up.
Right there. I hope she's coming.
Oh yeah, there you go, right there. You know, I think Bill Engelking told me about her.
Yeah. She was absolutely one of the neatest kids. Bob Durkee was a German teacher.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time with him. We would go backpacking together and everything, and so she was a favorite of his, and he said, you know...
Teachers have favorites?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, yes. Just like parents have favorites.
Parents have favorites? Oh my, how could that be? Tell me what you thought about the Beatles. President Kennedy's assassination and the Beatles on Ed Sullivan are two things everybody remembers. Your thoughts.
Well, we saw them in Copenhagen before they came to the States, okay?
You're so far ahead of everybody.
And so I said, three of the guys we were traveling with, we went to see them. And Arland was this one guy, and he said to me, Buzz, he said, what do you think? He said, I hear they're going to the States. I said, well, with those hairdos, they're going to be laughed off the stage.
You were so prophetic, not.
And then when I got back, every time they would appear, they'd come out. I would hear from Tom or Larry or Arlen. Oh yeah, those guys are going to get laughed right off the
stage. Oh my goodness. But what music do you like? If you had to listen to somebody for a night with a glass of wine, who do you put on?
Well, see, I go to the opera. I love the opera.
Love it.
I love the symphony. Go to the symphony. Had season tickets to both of those. Used to go up to San Francisco till San Jose opened an opera there, and at Irene Dallas, you know where she got her start?
Yep.
At Sunnyvale High School. Yeah, listen to this.
Okay, here we go.
She was...
this is the opera singer that's well known in San Jose,
yeah. But she had... They allowed her to use the cafeteria, the stage at Sunnyvale. And so when basketball practice was over, we got to have late practice because the boys had to get home.
Yeah.
Got that, Tony? The boys had to get home. Anyway, so after practice, I would stop by, because it was right there by where we parked the car. I would go out and drop in and listen to them for a while. Because we tried to hit every opera house in Europe, the main ones, you know, when we were traveling that year.
You're a Renaissance woman.
No, hardly. Hardly. But, yeah, that's...
What consists? What would you summarize as a good day for Carolyn? What happens?
Okay, getting up. Well, right now I get up at 5:30, and I get dressed, go down over to Saratoga High School, and walk the track for 45 minutes. Then I come back, and I meet some friends over there. Come back, and then I ride my bicycle, and I have a stationary bike. And I ride that for 15 minutes. But see, what happened to me is that the reason why I used to walk up the hills.
Yeah, you got a nice little hill in your driveway here.
But I would walk over to the top of the hill and come down a canyon view,
the other
and
end.
come through the Oaks condos at the end and back up here. And then one day a friend, Marilyn Mason, said, why don't we not go to the track, why don't we walk over to Argonaut Shopping Center? And which we did. And on our way over there, this gentleman coming out of a cul-de-sac.
Oh, no, this is not going to be good.
It's not. And she was on the inside, and I was on the outside watching the oncoming traffic. And we were walking along talking, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I saw her flying, and I went over to reach over to help hold her up, and she got her hand on the fender of the car and vaulted herself, and I got the brunt.
The brunt. Gotcha.
So this is all the higher I can get this arm up.
So if you're in attendance class, Carolyn Buszdieker, raise your hand. Raise your hand. That's about it.
That's it. But this one.
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah, so that happened on the 25th of September in 2012.
Oh, just a couple of years.
Yeah, and this has to have another surgery. I've had this one operated on arthroscopically.
Yeah.
And she wasn't able to attach it high enough, so that's...
Yeah, got to do it again.
And so this one here, they did a reverse shoulder. And it's a new procedure that they've...
Just that one day you went out of your
And he said, it was interesting, he said when the police came, they were sheriffs in this area, he said, how could you hit them? He said, I didn't see him.
Yeah.
And she said, well, what do you mean you didn't see them? And I was almost...
You're no shrinking violet. You're a tall lady.
I was almost going to say, that's the nicest compliment I've ever had. You couldn't see me. But he said his windshield was dirty.
Yeah.
Okay. So then she said, well, what were you doing on the left side? We were literally within 3 steps of the curb on the far side. What were you doing on the left side of the road? And he said, I was making a left-hand turn. So he must have been coming out of there every day.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was very sorry.
Yeah.
Not quite as sorry as I was.
No. You know what? In the 20 minutes we've talked, you've laughed about 20 times. So you've got a good spirit about you.
Yeah.
I asked Dick Henning to sing the alma mater. Is there any way you would even remember those lyrics?
No, I don't. That's terrible, I know. But because I went to every game,
Right.
every football game, because I was responsible for the cheerleaders.
Got it.
Every basketball game. I must have heard that alma mater sung a gazillion times, but.
All right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to stand next to you because I think I might know the words, and we'll sing it together.
Okay.
All right, so Carolyn and I, Dick Henning and I did this 2 days ago. All hail alma mater, all hail to Sunnyvale High. We'll always remember as time goes fleeting by. The blue of the ocean, the white clouds up above, the blue and white of Sunnyvale High, which is my last name, the school we love. Congratulations to the class of 1964. You're great. Oh man, what a treat. Could you take me one-on-one in basketball?
I could have.
Wait, I'll guard this side. I'm okay on this side. Oh God, that's hilarious.